out of the audience, I think. A much less emotional movie. The Ghost of Slumber Mountain.
A much less emotional movie, but no less important animation wise. No
Yes.
less interesting animation
That
wise.
is a much better segue. Yeah, The Ghost of Slumber Mountain, which is directed by Willis O'Brien, who is best known for doing the stop motion animation of King Kong. And we covered one of his earlier stop motion shorts already,
Yes.
involving prehistoric creatures and such. This one, though, is combined with live action in interesting ways, which I don't believe had been done uh, to this degree, at the very least.
Mm-hmm.
This was originally 40 minutes long, only about 15 are watchable.
Oh wow. I didn't realize. I didn't know that. I didn't know it was that. I didn't know that there was so much lost.
Right, it doesn't feel that incomplete is the thing. It feels like a complete
Yeah.
film. Like you watch it and you're like, oh yeah, it doesn't feel like there's any egregious things missing out of it. But
Mm-hmm.
apparently there was a lot of additional footage that has been either was cut out earlier or has been lost or through various things.
Oh wow. Yeah.
It's definitely a step up from Willis's first film from 1915. This was commissioned and produced by Herbert M. Dawley, who ended up taking most of the credit for it and the money. Both of them appear in the film as actors.
Mm-hmm.
Dawley as the lead, an explorer named Jack Holmes, which is a good explorer name. And O'Brien plays Mad Dick, the titular ghost. Which is one of the. It's like, don't giggle. Like, it's the olden times. They had different slang words. It's short for Richard, okay?
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, and I'm just gonna pause to say that one of the things that jumped out at me the most about this movie is how gay it is.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
And it's one of those things where I'm like, I can't tell if this is intentional or not.
I can't tell either, but like, I'm just wondering, like, are we trying to be told something here? You know?
Right. And, well, that was. Apparently, that was. Even at the time, there was a sort of. I don't know, according to the author, Christopher Workman, some of the cuts down from the original 40 minutes may have been done to avoid any homoeroticism, and that's based entirely off one of the remaining scenes. Yeah, I can't tell if it's like Willis O'Brien is like, hey, trying to put some something in for the fellas here, and Dolly was like, no, 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 none of that. Which is kind of the impression that I get from this sort of like, I guess the contemporary sort of writings about this movie. But
Yeah. I mean, I'll say that quote, he thought of Mad Dick as he fell asleep by the fire, and there is a scene where the main character and the kind of secondary explorer, he's trying to paint the scene that they get to, and he quote tried to get Joe to remove his clothes and pose as a fawn, and he's like, and his excuse for not taking his clothes off was that the skeeters are too thick.
yeah, which again is like, is this just old timiness where they just weren't as like aware, or sort of, it's almost the sort of thing where it's like in a modern context there's enough like weird homophobia around something like that it's like, no, 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 we can't have that, people will think it's too gay. Whereas I don't know if in 1918 if that was even a concern, but
I don't know.
maybe it was.
Yeah. I'd like to think that it's a gay dinosaur movie.
I always want to assume that it's intentional in every instance,
Yeah.
because that just makes it more interesting and a better piece of filmmaking, I think. Oh, in pretty much
Yes.
every example that we've come across. But yeah, this movie's got dinosaurs in it. It's about the explorer goes out into up to Slumber Mountain to find a ghost. And the ghost kind of reveals ways to look into the past to see the dinosaurs, but then the dinosaurs start kind of bleeding through to the present and chasing and eat Jack Holmes. And it's there's a T-Rex in this movie.
Yeah.
The Barnum Brown who is credited with finding the first fossils of Tyrannosaurus Rex, was a consultant on the film, which I thought was very interesting. That
Huh.
already, like one of the earliest dinosaur movies, they were like, we need a real dinosaur guy to come in and like explain what's what, you know?
Yeah, Mr. DNA.
It is similarly to Soldier Arms, ends with a "it was all a dream," which is such a. I'm not a fan of the it was all a
It's a
dream
it's a
plot
bad.
device.
Yeah,
It's
it's
bad.
bad.
It's almost never done well. But this movie does have stop motion dinosaurs in it, which is super cool.
Yeah.
So
I think
check
that
it out.
I think that like one of my the animation's all quite good, but I really liked that there was in particular one of the Triceratops that had like a breathing belly. Like
Yeah,
at every point where it was moving, it was doing sort of a naturalistic breathing, and it really like lent a lot of life to it that something that it otherwise wouldn't have had.
that's where Spielberg got the idea for the Triceratops breathing in Jurassic Park.
He'd never heard of breathing before.
Yeah, no, dinosaurs never breathed before this movie.